Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're here with a book haul. I haven't done like a standardized book haul in a very long time, and I'm very excited to talk to you about all the books I'm going to show in today's video. Some were sent to me very kindly by my fellow booktube friends, and some of them I just picked up for myself because one, I'm in a mood where I want to read all the books, so I had to expand my TBR for unknown reasons. And two, what was I saying? Today we're here with a book haul, nothing really else to say. If you like what you see in today's video, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss any future content from me. And without further ado, let's just hop straight into the book haul. So we're going to start off with the books that were very kindly sent to me. And the first one I have is Murder Most Unladylike by Robin Stevens. This was on my wish list, and Ashley from Movie and Books Gal very kindly sent it my way with some chocolate, which I have already devoured. I put this book on my wish list straight after finishing Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and when I read and heard about the synopsis, it sounded really similar, just this was a middle grade rather than a YA. So this book basically follows our two main characters, Daisy and Hazel, and they both go to the same, I think it's a boarding school, and they both love crime and solving mysteries, but they've never actually had to solve one. And then one day they find a body, and then when they go and report it, they return and the body's gone missing. So not only do they have a live case to solve, they actually have to prove that it was real. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I am loving murder mysteries at the minute. I loved Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and that's kind of kick-started my love of that kind of subgenre. So I'm excited to get to this one, and thank you Ashley for sending it my way. The next one I have already read, but I wanted a physical copy of it because I originally listened to it as an audiobook on Scribd. So Connor, when I put it on my wish list, he very kindly sent it to me, and I literally couldn't believe it. It was so unexpected and so thoughtful, so thank you so much, Connor. He very kindly gifted me Failosophy, a handbook when things go wrong by Elizabeth Day. Like I said, I listened to this as the audiobook, and there were so many points in this book that I wanted to scribble down and tab it up and just properly make a note, because I learned so many things in this book and took away so many lessons that I actually do want to reread this book physically and do all of those things to it. So tab it up, write it in it, and just kind of really get the best out of this book, because yes, the audiobook was brilliant and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, and I love Elizabeth Day's narrating voice, but I just think I'll get so much more out of it by physically reading it. So I appreciate Connor for sending me the physical copy so I could get my hands on it. And just look how cute the hard, that like, it's stunning, like gold foiling, a mini hardback. What more could you want in a book? It's so cute. I cannot wait to reread this one. And then from the kindness of her heart, Rhiannon sent me Killjoy by Holly Jackson. Like I just said, I am loving murder mysteries at the minute and really enjoy Holly Jackson's writing. So once I read Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and that is kind of where mine and Rhiannon's friendship kind of started, because I DM'd her all the time with updates when I was reading Good Girl's Guide to Murder. She sent me this one my way, which was so sweet of her, and I have already read this one as well. I gave it a 4.5 stars. I read it on World Book Day. It is a prequel to the Good Girl's Guide to Murder, so the end of the book you leave off with like the follow-up to why the events of the first book happened, and it was just so captivating. I couldn't put this book down. I read it in one sitting. It's not that big anyway, but it was pulled into the story and I couldn't let go of it. It basically follows our main character Pip, who is the main character of the entire trilogy. The 3rd book's coming out in August, I think, and you follow her and her friends as they celebrate exams by hosting a murder mystery party, and they have to solve the murder mystery party case, and stuff goes down, and I was so intrigued, so on edge. It's just the way Holly Jackson writes murder mysteries and interweaves all the facts and figures to make you like continue think about it and question stuff is just brilliant, and I loved it, and I cannot wait to get to the 3rd book when it comes out. I'm so grateful that I read Good Girl's Guide to Murder this year, because 1, it led me to Rhiannon, and 2, it led me to such a great series. So yeah, if you haven't picked up the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy yet, then I highly recommend you do so, and don't miss out on Killjoy, because it's a brilliant addition to the trilogy. The next wonderful human being I'm going to be shouting out is Chloe from Chloe Reads Books. Oh, by the way, I'm going to link everyone mentioned in this video down below because they all have channels. Rhiannon is the Welsh Reader, Connor is Connor's Library Corner, and Ashley is Movie and Books Gal. So I'll leave them all linked down below. You should be going to check them all out because they are all incredible. But Chloe from Chloe Reads Books very kindly sent me her copy of Summer Assault by Katrina, Leno. I've had this on my wish list for years. I think it was one of the first books I put on my Amazon wish list when I created it. And to be honest, the cover drew me in, and that's about it. I I can't actually remember too much about it, but it's a magical realism YA contemporary story about two sisters. One sister has already shown to her family that she has these powers inside her, and I think our main character hasn't shown these powers yet, and it's coming up to the 18th birthday, and yeah, I think that's kind of all I know about it, to be fair. Magic passed down through generations, an island with strange things happen, one summer that will become legend. When tragedy strikes, what made the Furnif woman special suddenly casts them into suspicion. Over the course of her last summer on the island, a summer of storms, of love, of salt, Georgina will learn the truth about magic in all its many forms. I appreciate Chloe for sending it my way, and I'm intrigued to see what my thoughts are about it, because it's one of those books that's been on my TBR for so long I've forgotten what it's about and why I put it on in the first place, but nevertheless I am excited to read it, because at the minute I'm wanting to read all the books. I'm in such a reading mood, and I'm so glad, because I've been in a slump for, I want to say, on and off the entire year so far, so to be finally in a place where I just want to read and read and read is giving me that great buzz that I have missed so dearly. The last person I need to thank in this video is Mollie. Mollie kindly sent me Honey Girl by Morgan Rodgers. I truly appreciate them to no end. Like, they did not have to send me this book. This is a very new release. I was not expecting anyone to get me this book. So when Mollie sent me this my way, I was so shocked and surprised. They are just the best human ever, and I can't thank them enough. This book basically follows, I've actually read the first chapter because this book features in my try a chapter tag, so if you haven't seen that and want to see my thoughts and reactions reading this, then I'll link up above and down below for you guys. But this book basically follows our main character Grace, who gets so drunk one night, meets a girl, and kind of shares the night with them, but the next morning Grace wakes up and the mystery girl has disappeared. So I think the story follows Grace trying to rediscover who she spent the night with and the aftermath of all that. I'm really excited to get to it. It's very, very highly praised on BookTube at the minute, and I cannot wait to get to it. It sounds right up my street. I am very much in the mood for adult contemporary romance chick lit books at the minute, so this one definitely sounds appealing to me, and I thank you again, Mollie, for sending it my way. You did not have to. I'm so excited. Now on to the books I treated myself with. I did a little splurge the other day because I was starting to get my book and reading mojo back, and I just wanted to buy a few books that have been really bringing my attention at the minute, and books I really wanted to read right now. So I probably won't actually be able to read them right now because I haven't even done my April TBR yet, so I don't even know what books are on my April TBR, and it's stressing me out because it's April 1st. But that's for another day. That's for another day. First book I brought, I haven't heard anyone talk about. I just came across this book on Amazon, I think. I was like, that title sounds interesting. I'll read the blurb of it, and it sounded right up my alley, so I picked it up. So if you've read this book, let me know in the comments down below, because I'd love your thoughts, because I've literally heard no one speak about this book. But I think as soon as I read you the title and the back of the blurb, you will be intrigued too, because that book is Has Anyone Seen My Sex Life? No, it's not a non-fiction, because it kind of sounds like it, by Kristen Bailey. This book just sounds like a barrel of laughs, and I cannot wait to get to it. And plus now I have another teal/boo book to add to my collection, which I am never ashamed of because it's my favourite colour. I'm just going to read you the blurb because it's one of my favourite tropes, a mundane life of a middle-aged woman trying to come to terms with her life in shambles. It's one of the reasons why I love books so much, because I just love getting insights into different people's lives. Ordinary or extraordinary, I don't care, but mundane lives tend to be my favourite plot. So yeah, the back of the blurb of this book says, "Is it normal for your washing machine to get more action than you? I wake up bleary-eyed. It's been 2 years, 6 months and 3 hours since I last shaved my legs, and the llama pattern knickers I've been wearing have seen better days. We have 7 minutes before the kids wake up and my husband shuffles closer. Ouch, he says, a piece of Lego sticking into his back. Then a light comes onto the landing. Small footsteps creep down the stairs. A little voice screams, 'Is someone coming to make my breakfast?' All hopes of having some alone time is replaced with wondering if we've run out of Cheerios. Thinking about the overflowing laundry and remembering that I forgot to take out the recycling. Again. Just a typical Monday morning for the Morton family. Except today, when I go downstairs in my dressing gown, I find something. Something belonging to my husband, something that definitely wasn't in the wedding vows. And it's either going to make us or break us." And it just sounds so fun, and I love the title, and the author actually has more books in the same sort of companion series because they're all in the same sort of style of title, and I cannot wait to get to this book. It sounds so fun and so perfect for spring and summer. Just the fluffiest chick lit possible, I think, so I cannot wait to get to this one. The next book I treated myself to is another Mike Gayle book, and this one is The Man I Think I Know. I love Mike Gayle's writing. I've only read one of his books before. I've read Half a World Away by him and really enjoyed it, and I've been wanting to build up my collection and read more from the author. I have All the Lonely People on my iBook account, but I just love physical books, so when this book was kind of going cheap, I decided to pick it up. I'm not too sure what this one's about apart from two male friendships that come together under extraordinary circumstances, and they form a bond and kind of redeem each other in their own ways and kind of support each other, I think. So I'm really intrigued to see it. I love the characters Mike Gayle wrote about in Half a World Away, so I'm expecting great characters from this one and a very emotional, heartwarming story. So yeah, I'm excited to get to this one, and I love how both my books match now. That's always a good thing when you buy from the same author and all their covers match. It's the little things in life, guys, especially during these uncertain times. Yay. The next book I have to share, everyone is talking about on BookTube at the minute. Maybe not necessarily actually talking about it and reviewing it, but I've seen it circulating a lot, whether that's on Instagram posts or on Goodreads of people adding it to their interested in lists and all that sort of stuff. And that's Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. But this book basically follows two sisters, and they kind of don't get along very well. So when June gets cancer, they are thrown back together to support one another and to deal with the situation and deal with family secrets that are kind of being brought back up to the surface. So I'm just really intrigued to see what this one's all about, and yeah, I'm excited, otherwise I wouldn't have picked it up. That's what a book haul is, I think. And can I just say, all the books I've ordered are really floppy. Like, look at that floppiness, and this one's really floppy too. I'm absolutely loving it. In March, I reread one of my favourite series of all time. Only the first book because it is an 8-book series, and that series is I Heart New York by Lindsey Kelk. I have been trying to collect them, but I had no motivation to continue collecting the rest of the series. I only had the first book. So when I reread it last month to try and get me out of my reading slump, it made me realise why I wanted to collect the series, why I wanted to reread it, and why I just love the series so much. So of course it made me want to pick up the next book. I originally read them all as audiobooks, so I've been trying to collect the physical copies slowly because obviously buying them all together is a lot of money, so I've been slowly trying to collect them. And this one is I Heart Hollywood, which is the second book in the series. If you didn't know, I Heart New York follows Angela, our main character, and when she finds that her fiance is cheating on her, they've been together for like 10 years, they're high school sweethearts, so when she finds him cheating on her, she just ups and leaves and goes to live in New York without a trace and just vanishes and creates a whole new life for herself in New York. She really like discovers herself and meets new friends, meets new guys, and just really come to terms with herself in New York and realizes what she wants in life. And I just love the series so much, and I cannot wait to reread the second one, I Heart Hollywood. We're coming up to the penultimate book, and the next book I picked up was Lucy Diamond, The Beach Cafe. I've had this on my wish list for so long, and I finally just took the plunge and brought it. Not that it was expensive or anything, but it's always one of those books where I put off because I'm just like, do I really need to read it? It's just another fluffy chick lit book about a woman who moves up her life to a different part of the country and starts over. Can you see a theme here? This book basically follows our main character Evie, who's trying to make her name for herself as a photographer, as a singer, as an actress, but she can't really get her feet on the ground. She doesn't really know what she wants to do with her life, so she's really stuck, and she's known as the black sheep of the family. She's just a little bit lost and she doesn't really know what to do. But when her Aunt Jo dies, she leaves in her will the ownership of her beach cafe down in Cornwall, and Evie is now meant to run it. So she moves down to Cornwall, starts a new life for herself, really picks up her feet, and she obviously meets a guy and romance ensues, and I just cannot wait. This looks like the perfect book to read in the garden when it's nice and sunny outside and you can just curl up and enjoy a really good chick lit. So I cannot wait for this one, and yeah, hopefully I'm in with a good time with this one. The last book I've picked up, which I'm really excited to read because it has raving reviews on Goodreads, and that is This Time Will Be Different by Misa. So this book basically follows our main character CJ. She's 17 years old and she's never been able to live up to her mum's type A ambitious student, and she just prefers helping her auntie out in their flower shop, till one day her mum announces she's planning to sell the shop to the McAllisters, who swindled CJ's family and many others when the Japanese Americans were sent to internment camps during World War II. Soon a rift threatens to splinter CJ's family, her friends, and the entire Northern California community, and for the first time CJ is ready to step up and fight. This just sounds like a really impactful read about a culture that I haven't read too much about, and I'm just really, really excited to get to this one. It sounds like a book that I would typically read with a little bit of a twist, which sometimes I love, because I do love a good YA contemporary, but sometimes they can get really, really samey. So with the mix of CJ being that typical YA character with wanting to just run a flower shop with her auntie, yet having that historical background to it as well, sounds really, really interesting, and I'm so intrigued to read it. Plus, look how stunning that cover is. Once again, what is it about characters having stunning eyebrows? Because Mia Fahrenheit has stunning eyebrows too, and I wish I had stunning eyebrows like these characters. Yeah, that's an observation. But yeah, those are all the books I've recently picked up in the last couple of weeks or so. I really, really cannot wait to get to all of them, and once again, thank you to everyone who has purchased me a book. Like, I don't ever expect any books from anyone. It's just the most crazy thing when the door knocks and an Amazon parcel has arrived that I haven't ordered myself, and I look and I see the note and it's from someone who watches my videos or one of my friends. Like, my heart just bursts with joy every single time, and I cannot believe that I've got this opportunity to meet so many amazing people. It's just incredible, and I can't thank you guys enough, but I'm so excited to get to all of these books. I'm gonna try and lift them up for you. I did it for the thumbnail. Let's see if I can do it for you guys. These are all the books I've recently purchased. I'm adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 books to my TBR as of the last couple of weeks, but I don't regret anything. I'm really excited to get to all of these books. Hopefully some of them will fit on to my April TBR, but who knows what my TBR game has in store for me. But yeah, I'm so excited to read them all. Let me know down in the comments which books you recently purchased and which ones you're most excited to read, or have you read any of the books I've just hauled? Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are of them. I would love to know. And without further ado, I will see you in my next video. If you like this video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up. Subscribe down below to see future content from me, such as book hauls, reading vlogs, TBR games, and everything in between. I have it all here. And without further ado, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.